fire has started, man. And let me tell you one thing about what had happened way earlier on during our very initial stages. I remember we had tried knocking on doors for corporates. Now we're doing these gigs and thousands of young people are coming. And we talk to guys like Coca-Cola, would you guys be willing to come on board? And I was like, no, we're not interested in that space. And I remember Oscar was getting frustrated, and I told Oscar, even radio stations at that time, so I remember telling Oscar, man, Oscar, don't worry, the time is going to come when these guys will come looking for us. For us, right now, let's just focus on what we need to do. But the time will come when these guys will come looking for us. So now the gospel music industry has started shaking, man.
You're not on TV yet?
We're not on TV yet.
Good. Yeah.
No, we're not on TV yet, man. This is now...
TV is a story on its own.
Yeah. So in 2006, we do TSO again.
This
December.
time at Nairobi Baptist.
At Nairobi Chapel. So Nairobi Chapel.
When it was on Ngong Road.
They'd gone to Ngong Road, Impala grounds. And again, we underestimated the number of people who would come for this gig. The lines were so long. Oh my word.
And it wasn't free.
It wasn't free now. Now we're charging guys 200. So, but the lines were so long. We had two arenas, one outside where the DJs were and one inside, you know, where the artists were performing. So the DJs were performing at the hockey grounds, and the main arena was where Nairobi Chapel had a tent. And I could not believe the number of people who came. And we got our first sponsorship at that gig with Celtel.
It's the first time you are getting paid to do missions.
Yep.
It's not at the people donating or giving you. This is a corporate coming in.
A corporate coming in. And do you know who was in charge of market? Who was the marketing director there?
Nancy.
Anna Othoro.
Oh, Anna Othoro, yes.
Because she knew. She was like, these guys have the numbers. The people are coming. The people are coming for this gig. And we went, before we even got this, we had to meet with our entire marketing team and tell them about TSO, what's happening, how many guys are coming, how we're going to make sure that they get publicity and all those things. So we had to go and have a whole meeting to convince our team.
K-Krew is a ground up movement. Mm-hmm. You may not have been known on media or anything, apart from maybe the Kubamba shows, but qua grounds with the youth demographic.
We are so there, man.
Till today.
Till today. They can take away the media, it's fine.
You can't touch our ground movement.
On ground, that's where we live. That's our sweet spot. That's our sweet spot,
man. The million people you're talking who you've met face to face.
Bro, when we talk with young people, man, and they come and they tell you about, you know, how you've touched their life, and they come and ask you questions, whether it's about career, whether it's about the faith, whether it's about the things that they're struggling with. Richie, that's just brilliant, man.
And it's across the country, not even the country, because you've penetrated, you've done stuff in Uganda, but we're coming to that. Let's talk about entering to TV. So,
entering to TV.
Or is there something else you look like you wanted to say?
Yes. I was going to say in 2007, so 2006 now we do TSO at Nairobi Chapel. In 2007 we decided to be crazy to take TSO on the road.
Okay, let's see.
So we went to, I remember we went to, in April of that year, we went to Nakuru in April.
That was the first time you're taking TSO
out of Nairobi. That's the first time we're taking TSO outside Nairobi. Went to Nax. Here we are going to Nax. We don't have chums. We don't have a sponsor.
Can I ask a question first even? What's with you and the growth mentality? Why are you taking it? Why don't you just keep doing what you're doing? It's working. It's getting bigger numbers.
Because in Nairobi, we can't keep the gospel in one space. We needed to expose more people to the gospel in a manner that's relevant to them. We needed to expose the gospel to young people beyond Nairobi. So we went to Nakuru, April 29th, 2007. And we're going to Nakuru and we have no chums. It was a complete faith project, man. I remember the Friday, you guys are coming on Saturday. And first, thank God, Yani, Bishop Mark Kariuki, the son is a good friend of ours and a fan of the show. So they say, maze, Nikki says, kujeni maze tuwapatia accommodation, maze. So I'm sleeping at Bishop Mark Kariuki's house in Nax.
Yes.
And so they were not there. So it was just Nikki, the sister, and us guys. So I'm there with Chukush. But I have guys who are coming
the next day.
The Saturday, So we're there for like 3 days, but then we have guys coming on the Saturday for the gig because earlier on we were going to distribute posters and flyers. So we made sure that the same quality of posters we were doing in Nairobi and flyers is what we took to Nakuru. So we got some cash, did good posters and flyers. In Nakuru, would go give guys flyers, they would guys would be like kapana stacking because they thought the flyer is a ticket. They were going to ask them for cash.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good quality flyer. Many of them say this taki. Alafu naambia pana ni bure, shika tu. You know, it's a flyer. So Friday comes, we don't have accommodation. Guys are coming on Saturday. What do? Pastor Janet.
And this time she's a Nairobi chapel.
She's always been a chapel.
Yeah.
Pastor Janet, you are like one of the most amazing, wonderful sisters that God has blessed me with. I'm sorry I don't tell you enough times. Utapata kichwa kubwa nataka ubaki kiwa humble tu vile uko. But Pastor Janet yani has always been a believer, man of us. As in, would reach out to him and be like, Pastor Janet, man, we're stuck, what do? She makes calls and then she says, okay, go to this hotel. It's owned by a congregant of the church. Tell them, mwenyewe amesema, hawa watu wafunguliwe mahali walale.
Are you joking, Moz? That's what would happen.
That's exactly what happened. So how guys ended up sleeping at
that hotel, I remember
the hotel, I'm trying to remember the name.
Yeah, but it's just near the road. I remember.
You can write it down there. It was because of Pastor Janet, man. The owners opened up the hotel for the entire crew to go sleep there.
We're like 40 guys.
Meals provided. Saturday, Sunday, we leave on Monday. The sound system, we got it from Nairobi to take from Nairobi projectors to go to Nax to set up. They charged us such a ridiculous fee I could not even believe. And that's the gig that we even had Heart and Soul. Do you remember?
Yes. And
they were a full band.
And also Shilemonyiga's brother.
Yes, Rock of
Ages.
Yes, Mark and the guys. Paul Kimeto.
Yep.
And all those guys. Man, it was such a great experience. But we went there without cash. And the gig was so amazing, Richie.
Hey, Moz,
so amazing.
Your currency is faith.
Then the following holiday, August, we decided na bado. One more place to go.
Kisumu.
Where do we go? Kisumu City. No budgets, but something amazing happened, man. A week before the gig, Sitam.
Hope FM.
Not even Hope FM. Sitam. Call and they're like, we'd been trying to ask them. So, man, they called and said, we're going to give you guys 100 Gs. That 100 Gs allowed us to do TSO Kisumu. Now here we've gone, all this crew, man, all these guys in Kubamba. We're going, we don't even have places to stay. So it's our friends, Akina Linda. So we had guys scattered all over, man, if you remember.
But I didn't know that we were going without money. I wouldn't have come, man. But, now I'm hearing the story like this from the first time. In fact, I have pictures where I am pulling up the Hope FM banner.
That gig, we had no chums. Zero. We had the 100 Gs were given by Sitam and probably whatever it is that we had, but we would not, if we were looking at it from a monetary perspective, we would not have done the things that we were able to do.
That's insane.
Accommodation, guys just opened up their doors. A friend of ours, Bobby Wafula, Bob, his family lived in Kisumu. They hosted a couple of guys. My boy from all over opened up his house. A couple of us stayed there.
That's what
Linda
happened.
Ogalo, a couple of guys stayed with her.
Hey, Moz.
It's just what God does, man. So we did the gig in Kisumu. That was one of the hardest gigs we've ever done. I cannot wait to go back to Kisumu and I feel we haven't gotten the breakthrough that we need in Kisumu. It's the one place I'm like, man, something needs to happen. Something needs to happen.
But Moz, you guys still kept to this madness.
Oh,
because after Kisumu,
we went for the next one now. Went to Mombasa, Coastal, TSO. And again, we decided to do a fundraiser at Mamlaka on a Wednesday night. It was the same night that we were going to depart to go to Coastal. It was on a Thursday. The same night we were going to depart to go to Coastal. So Njugush went ahead of us, tried to get a place where guys can stay, and there was nothing. Njugush took the car that we had, the only car that we had, KW. Went with it to Mombasa, tried looking for guys to host us. Something to happen. Man, even he couldn't get accommodation. Njugush was sleeping in the car.
What?
You need to interview Njugush.
I am going to.
Njugush was sleeping in the car. And man, just praying and asking God, please come through for us. Where are we going to sleep?
Because there's a busload of guys about to come from Nairobi.
Thursday night, we do a concert to raise cash to go to Coastal at Mamlaka Hill Chapel. Only a few guys came. We got to get about 20 I think maybe like 23,000 shillings. So that evening, guys got to the bus and we left.
And the 23,000 is over.
And so, but the transport actually, because it was like 1,000 shillings ahead.
Yeah.
So we had to pay for that transport for guys. Then we've gone crazier. We've even said, for guys who are listening to us on Kubamba, we want to give an opportunity for 2 of you guys to come and join us for this trip. So we're going to expose ourselves this banner. And we could not renege what we had said. So we had to honor it. And one of those people was Joanne.
No way.
Joanne Waweru.
Yeah.
Who eventually ended up working with us.
Yeah, she joined K-Krew.
One of the freshest people I've ever gotten an opportunity to know.
She joined K-Krew from a competition. From an opportunity.
From that opportunity. We all bonded and none of us wanted to let her go. It was just a perfect fit.
So we arrive Mombasa.
in Mombasa. So Njugusha talked to the manager at that time for Milele Beach Hotel, Anthony Jaramba. So Anthony had said, actually, sawa kujeni. You guys can camp over here. So he had a space for camping. So the one thing we knew we were living with was a few tents, if you remember.
Yes.
So that at least Njugusha had sorted out. But in terms of meals, we were living here with 23 Gs. We had no food. We have all these guys who were coming along. Accommodation ni kulala kwa tents, tabidi mazee sisi wote to squeeze. It's Coastal. Think about the ants, the humongous ants and things like that are there. And I remember when we got down to the coast and were taken all the way to, the bus was kind enough to take us straight to Milele Beach Hotel. When we got there, first guys went to chill at the beach.
Yep.
Because it was too early. The only meal that we had with us was Verbal's mom used to work for a drinks company. I can't remember which drinks company this was, but she gave us all this juice in 1 liter packs and the small ones, the small juices for squeeze. And then because the previous day when we had the concert, we had cooked up all these sausages.
I know we had sausages, yes.
So we took those ones with us. So that's all we had for meals. In fact, that breakfast, when we got to Coastal like at 6:30 in the morning to the hotel, that's what we dished out to guys first. So guys went to the beach and they're chilling. At least we're in a nice inn. But all wondering, Maze, where are we going to sort out the issues of accommodation?
We are not wondering. Us, we are celebrating that we're at Milele Hotel.
Milele Beach.
Milele Beach, yes, Milele Beach. We don't know about the drama that you and Njugusha are going through.
Did you not know?
I didn't know. Okay, maybe it's just me. I was just waiting to go and start eating breakfast at the hotel.
Do you even know how that breakfast came about?
So what happens then? Because we had breakfast.
So now, we didn't have cash for breakfast and we're not going to order for breakfast in the hotel. That was not an option because we didn't have money for it. So the manager came at 8:30, Anthony. So Njugush met with him. I think I met with him as well. And man, he was like, watu wako wapi? Wako hivyo nje, just chilling by the beach, enjoying themselves. So he went to the kitchen and told his staff members, organize breakfast for these guys.
What?
Organize breakfast for these guys. So we came and we hollered, guys, breakfast is served. So all this crew, man.
This crew is insane.
And all the meals were provided at Milele Beach Hotel. The other thing that he did was he gave us 2 apartments.
Yes, he gave us 2 rooms.
2 apartments,
Proper,
man.
like even with upstairs.
Yes.
I remember, yeah.
2 apartments with beds. So many guys got accommodation in the houses. And a few guys eventually ended up camping.
Which was fun. It was even an experience.
It was so much fun, man. We had 2 swimming pools.
And we had meals throughout.
The hotel catered for that, man. Now, again, Pastor Janet, we're here at the coast, Maze. What do we do is like, in fact, we've been trying to see what we can do for you guys. We'll send you guys 120 Gs.
They sent.
You guys, she sent us 120 Gs for us to do the mission at the coast. Now, as we're doing this mission at the coast, we're already secured the venue to know.
Exactly.
We're already secured the municipal grounds to go to the concert there. But then on Saturday at 3 p.m., the cops call us and say your gig has been cancelled at the grounds. And we asked them why. Because
political rally.
Raila
ODM.
has a gig. I don't even know if it was called ODM. ODM, yes. They're going to do a gig where? At Tononoka grounds. And there's no way they can handle two gigs at the same time within such close proximity. So our gig was cancelled. I remember we prayed, man. We prayed. And we told Njugush, just go try in Mombasa Pentecostal Church. So Njugush rocked up to Mombasa Pentecostal Church on the Saturday afternoon.
When we're supposed to be having our gig.
The gig was on Sunday.
Oh, yeah,
Sunday
after. Yes, yeah.
But we don't have a gig.
Oh, we don't have a venue.
We don't have a venue. 24 hours. Man, we prayed. All of us came together to pray. And Mombasa Pentecostal Church, just like that, we're like, yeah, karibuni. Just like that. I will never forget that church, man. Because they didn't know us from Adam. We'd never done anything at their church. But they so lovingly opened up the doors for us to go in to do the gig. That's how we did TSO. Mombasa.
As in, Moz, when I'm hearing your story, I've said it and I want to say it again, just for those listening. Faith is your currency.
Oh, it is 100.
And sometimes it's not worked. I remember even flying with you to Uganda, which again, I didn't understand where you were going, but it sounded like it was just a faith journey for you to try and enter there. I do know later on you entered, maybe small time here and there, but faith is truly your currency.
Bro, since that time, we just eventually this year broke through into Uganda.
No way.
This year.
Dude, that was like over 10 years ago.
So I'm talking with my friend now, our colleague from Uganda. He's called Daniel Luasa. So Daniel is the one who's heading Kubamba in Uganda. So I'm like, Daniel, you have no idea how many times we've tried to penetrate into UG, but we've never had the breakthrough because we don't have the point person to lead this thing. And here, it's finally happened.
Now
it's just finally happened.
Oh man.
Let me touch on something. And let me say I'm very excited I'm ridiculously excited about UG. Once this, God willing, if it's God's will, once this whole pandemic is over for Corona, I think UG is the next place to look out for. I'm very excited about it, man. Kubamba UG. Finally, man. After all these years. Back to Coastal. So we finished the gig. Fantastic experience, man. We had a great time. Oh, man, that was epic. That was epic, man. Epic. That's the time when I met a young kid by the name DK.
DK?
Yes.
Kwenye beat?
Yes. And he so desperately wanted to go on stage and I said, no. He came with heart and soul.
What?
Babe, did you come to Coastal? You came to Kisumu. Yeah. DK came with heart and soul. And there were, guys of heart and soul, like, yeah, this is a young guy, he's a young kid who's coming in. His name is DK, man. Moses Shadama will have him on stage. I said no.
There's a process.
Yeah.
Yes. The same way you had said no to me, even this other guy, you still know. There's a process. And K-Krew, if there's a thing that I've realized, is always a process on how to get to stage. There's a journey you need to sort of walk.
It's always been. And I think it's important. Till today, man. So, Sunday evening, we finish. We have a great meal together. I think we went to one of the restaurants there. We had some nice meal, pilau.
Biryani,
yay. And then Monday morning, we wake up. So now at least, man, we can exhale. We've done what God had called us to do there. And a few of us went to the beach. Tukaangalia tukasema, see there's the shore over there, maze. You got to let's walk to the shore. We've never done this thing, so let's go ahead and do it. So we've always wanted to walk to the shore. I'd never done it before, so I was like, yeah, we have an opportunity to do it. So those punks, first let me say, on Saturday night we had an incident before TSO Mombasa. Moods from 501 got some really bad ulcers.
Mutu wa Matheka.
And he had to be taken into the hospital that night. It was bad. So Jugush took him quickly, maze, to Aga Khan Hospital, from and it was a bit scary for us. But we were glad that we got attended to, and was able to join us the next day in the afternoon. So Monday morning, so a couple of dudes, they look and they're like, we need to walk all the way to the beach, all the way to the shore. We always talk about the reef. The reef, yeah, it looks good, so let's walk to the reef. So this was around 9 o'clock in the morning. We went and told our friends, Verbal and those guys, sisi tunaenda huko hivyo kwa reef. That was myself, A-Star,
and Johnny Celeb.
Was Celeb there?
Yeah, it's the Celeb.
Moods and Wale. Alex from 501.
Yep.
It was 5 of us.
Yep.
So out of the 5 of us, we had 2 tubes for saving our lives. So when we all went down to the reef, it was a good experience, man. We're all walking, some places you get to, the water gets deep a little bit, then you come out and there's a place where you can walk. Alafu tukakaribia maze reef, but now the waters had started coming back. And we were maybe 100 meters away, or maybe 50 meters away from the reef. These guys came with a boat, they were like, blah, 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 blah. We couldn't hear what the guy said. I think he noticed we couldn't hear. So he got closer to us. Tokeni hapa bahari narudi. Mtazama na maji. We're like, wow, this is drama. So we tried to turn around now to swim back to get back to the shore. Maze, as we turned around to get back to the shore, basically what was happening was
we would pulling swim, us. It pulls us.
It pulls you back. You try swimming away, it pulls you back. Man, we fought with that. We fought with those waves. And then this guy here, Richie, alikuwa tu na party kwa mkono. Richie, I have to give you. I'm holding on to this tube for dear life. We're 4 guys now holding on to 2 tubes.
Man,
we fought with those waves. We fought with those waves. Eventually, now we go to a place where we could swim back. The thing is, we
didn't get our lives to go on.
Oh man, quickly. We left guys at 9 o'clock in the morning to go to the reef, and then we got back to the shore at 2 p.m.
I remember. Tired. Just blacked out on the beach.
Wow. And so it's like we from the point of entry to the ocean, we were like a kilometer away on our way back from where we had left, guys. As guys got back to the beach, everyone knelt down and kissed the ground. We're like the paupers.
I remember that day.
We're gonna die.
You saw death. Okay, Moz. We
commercial break.
I want us to touch on one thing, and then TV.
Okay.
Just one thing before TV.
What's that?
No, actually, no. We touch on TV first, because what I wanted to touch on was now the next 31st.
Okay.
Because the next 31st was the country had been stopped. We were all live on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yep.
We were all live on TV.
That was 2010.
That was later, when there was an attack. When there was an attack, and then now the country had been stopped. It was our first curfew. It's like what's happening now.
Yeah, basically all events were stopped.
Okay, but before that, let's touch on TV, because I remember that was live on TV. And in fact, at this time, it was on Citizen.
So basically what happened was